Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. To start off 2023, I thought it would be great to catch up on everything Corvette racing. We have 3 terrific guests on this episode of Corvette Today. The first person on this Corvette Racing edition is a return guest and a friend of the show. She's the Sports Car Racing Program Manager for GM, Laura Klauser. Laura, welcome back to Corvette Today.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Let's get right into it, Laura. Let's do a quick wrap-up of Corvette racing last year in 2022.
Well, we had quite a lot going on. That was the first year that Corvette Racing has done a full WEC season. So we had the car all over the world, which was very exciting. We were really thrilled with the results. Considering it was our first time, we still managed to place second at Sebring. We won Monza, and then we placed second in Bahrain, a race that we thought that we were going to end up riding around in the back. So great strategy by the team. So very, very thrilled with all the work that happened there. And then in IMSA, we had to make some modifications to the car. The GTLM class that we had been racing in for quite some time went away at the end of 2021. So in 22, they moved us to GTD Pro, where we were racing amongst GT3 cars. And unfortunately, our GT3 is not ready yet. It'll come out in 2024. We've been working away at that. But we were able to move some things around. We had to put a mass box in the car, a ballast box, and we were on the spec tire, and we had to add ABS to the vehicle. So it's not exactly the race car as we knew it before. It had to get changed, but still a very familiar machine. And we've been working on understanding all that new technology that we've moved in the vehicle, especially the ABS and the spec tire.
Man, that's crazy stuff, Laura. Now, let's update everybody on the status of Corvette racing for IMSA and the WEC and the classes we're going to be participating in this year then.
It's very similar to what we did in 2022. We'll have one car in IMSA in the GTD Pro class in the same configuration I just discussed, since GT3 is not out until next year, 24. And then for the WEC, we are running the full WEC endurance season. But what has changed in the WEC is their pro offering for the GTE race car class is no longer. So in order to keep participating, we had to find an amateur to work with so that we have a pro-am offering. And we have been extremely fortunate to be paired up with Ben Keating, who was very interested in getting the Corvette. And we were interested in having him, as he's one of the best AMs in the world. So we're looking forward to seeing what the car can do. It's in the configuration configuration from the beginning that we designed the car for when we launched in 2020. That's exciting to still be running it as it was designed. And then we're still going for all of those great races around the world, showing the world what Corvette can do as we get ready for GT3, which will also be racing all over the world in all those different classes. So we're gearing up for a global domination.
Good for you. That's awesome. And as a matter of fact, Laura, you kind of let the cat out of the bag. We've got Ben Keating on this edition of Corvette Today. He's going to be our third and final guest a little bit later on in the show. Also, do you have an update for us for Corvette Racing for Le Mans this year? And if not, what are your hopes and dreams in regards to our participation in Le Mans this year?
Le Mans is an invitation event. However, if you do enroll in the full season, you are guaranteed a spot in Le Mans because the full season includes Le Mans for the WEC.
Got it.
So our entry with Ben will be running Le Mans. I believe that that's probably where it's going to end. The amateur thing is a little tough. Once upon a time when we used to just bring the cars to Le Mans, or we would do maybe one other race in Le Mans, it was a pro entry. So the drivers that had been in the car in IMSA and knew the car inside and out were the ones that we brought with us. Now that it's amateur, we would have to find another AM and another silver to race just that race if we did two. And that just doesn't seem like we're setting people up for success. If you're bringing people in that are not very familiar with the car and feel like they can get in and just start turning laps. Whereas Ben will have been racing with us from the beginning for the season, and he'll be familiar when we get to Le Mans. So we're going to focus on giving him the best race car possible and seeing how successful we can be with the best AM, the best team, working on all those bests.
Absolutely right. That sounds great. Also, let's talk about the roster of drivers for Corvette Racing this year. Let's overview those people.
Yes. So we brought Nicky Katzberg in full time. He's going to be the pro that's in the car with Ben. We're still figuring out who our silver is going to be. So hopefully news for that will be coming as we get ready for Sebring, which is the first WEC race. And then for IMSA, Jordan and Antonio are the dynamic duo again, but Tommy is going to be with them in the endurance seat. And this is the first time that those three drivers have been paired together in one car. Tommy is our heavy hitter for all the GT3 development, which behind the scenes with all this racing going on, we've got a ton of tests and driver in the loop, which is our simulator sessions, all sorts of things going on to make sure that car is correct. So we're going to keep Tommy really busy, and it made sense to pull him off of a full season and make sure that he's available to get that done while we're racing the cars with the other drivers.
Very cool. How does where we are competing this year affect some of the race cars? Are there any modifications that we need to do to compete in all the races that we're going to be in this year?
For IMSA, the only new one is Indianapolis and Sebring, and I don't think that's going to drive too much. We'll just need to figure out what the right setup is for that. We'll do work in the sim to get ready for that and understanding. And then for the WEC, the new race is Portimao, and the challenge that Portimao brings is the temperatures. It's usually quite a bit toasty over there when we're going to be there in April, so we need to make sure that we understand how to use the tire appropriately for that weather. We don't usually deal with that type of heat other than Watkins Glen will get hot every once in a while on the IMSA calendar. But between the track surface and the temperature, I know the team's been doing a lot of work thinking about how are they going to manage the tire. And then that's where the sim will come in as well. We'll be doing lots of work in the simulator getting ready for that race.
That's awesome. So let's overview the races coming up for 2023 then as well.
Oh, geez. Okay. So for the very first one will be the Rolex 24 in January. So that'll be exciting to see us out there again as we're getting ready for that race. And that's everyone's pulling their hair out. Obviously, it's only a couple days away, it seems like, for the Roar. And then the next one is a dual event. So it's Sebring in March. IMSA will be racing their 12-hour. And then the WEC starts off their season with their, I think it's 1,000 miles of Sebring is what they call it. They race Friday night.
Right.
From there, this is where things get crazy. IMSA goes to Long Beach to be with the IndyCar event. And then the WEC is racing the same weekend at Portimao. I'm glad we have enough people to have the two teams that they can divide and conquer that, which is going to be tricky. But it's shame for those like me who I like to go to all of them. So I have to pick which race, which is never fun to have to make that decision. After that weekend, I believe is Spa with the WEC is next. That's either the very last day in April or the very first day in May. Then it's Laguna with IMSA. Then that gets us to the big one globally. We've got Le Mans in June. Then we get not much time to come back for Watkins Glen CTMP at IMSA is the same weekend as Monza in the WEC. So there's another one where some of us are going to have to pick which race we're going to.
Right.
Then we've got Road America in August. September, there's Fuji and Indianapolis. And I can't remember if it's Fuji first or Indy first. They're not on the same weekend, but it's like a back-to-back. So there's going to be quick moving across the world, literally, to get from one race to another. And then we should be at Petite with IMSA to finish off that season. And Bahrain with WEC is in November to finish off that season. And I hope I didn't miss a race.
Man, the schedule is full though, Laura. That's going to be a huge set of races for this year.
Yes, it's a lot. And for 2022, a couple of us, Christy, the assistant program manager that handles Corvette, went to every race in 2022 between IMSA and the WEC. And by mid-season, I think she was kind of like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? That's a lot. And then for this coming year, my goal is to go to every race that I don't have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
So we'll see what I'm doing about mid-season too. I might be pulling my hair out as well.
Boy, I hope not. That's going to be a busy schedule, but it sounds like a great schedule. Laura, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. It's always great talking to you. Happy New Year and all the best of luck this year in 2023.
Thank you so much for having, and I hope everyone's getting ready to root for us down in Daytona. And then, man, you can see us racing all over the world. It's going to be super exciting.
Coming up in the second segment of Corvette Today, we've got Jordan Taylor coming up on this special edition of Corvette Racing 2023 here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability, and it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum and we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
VetteFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetteFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetteFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Check out the first Corvette-only auction website at 427stingray.com/Corvette Today. You can sign up to bid and comment on more than 40 Corvettes every week. That's 427stingray.com/Corvette Today. Join the community.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. My next guest on this Corvette Racing edition of Corvette Today is one of the most popular Corvette racing drivers in the business. He's won 4 IMSA championships, just to name a few. He's a Florida native and comes from a racing family. You might know him better from his alter ego, Rodney Sandstrom. He's Mr. Jordan Taylor. Jordan, welcome to Corvette Today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. You've been with Corvette Racing now since 2012. That's 10 years, Jordan. Talk to me about what it means to be a Corvette Racing driver for 10 years.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's already been a decade. I still feel like I'm pretty young, but that definitely makes me feel a bit older. But yeah, it's amazing. I think growing up in sports car racing, around the sport, especially on the sports car side of things, not just open wheel or stock car racing, we were always a sports car racing family. So for us, we grew up watching the Corvettes. We grew up watching all these different manufacturers. And as an American driver, you always looked at Corvette and Corvette Racing as the place you want to be. It's a brand you want to represent. And when you go to a place like Le Mans, you want to represent your brand and your country when you go there. So yeah, it's been an amazing decade now. Obviously lots of wins together, lots of championships together. It's been an amazing experience. And I think through your podcast, you can tell how passionate the Corvette fans are and the fan base.
Absolutely.
When you go to the racetrack as a Corvette racing driver, it always feels a little bit extra special.
Definitely. Now, you touched on something that I wanted you to expand on. You come from a racing family. Talk about your family's racing pedigree.
Yeah, so my dad obviously got started back in South Africa. He grew up over there, and Formula One and motorsport in general is huge in their country. So he grew up going to the go-kart track with his dad, and they didn't grow up with much money. So he started go-karting, at a later age, just with parts and pieces he could kind of get together, and basically made a career out of it. In his mid-20s, moving to England to start racing, taking my mom over there, and then that's where Ricky was born while my dad was racing overseas. And then the crazy part is that his first paid job to come race in America was actually with Jim Miller of Pratt & Miller. And then my first job as a race car driver was paid by the same guy, Jim Miller of Pratt & Miller. So it's amazing that I went full circle 31 years apart from my dad being hired to come to America to me driving for the same person basically a couple of decades later. But yeah, my dad raced up until the mid-2000s and then started his own race team, Wayne Taylor Racing. And then Ricky and I kind of grew up obviously around the sport, and we were never super interested in driving. We had fun going to the racetrack, driving go-karts every now and then, but nothing too serious. And then once my dad kind of retired from the driving side, and he can kind of focus on kind of teaching us what this whole driving thing was about and how intense it could be and how rewarding but difficult, Ricky and I kind of fell in love with it. So we never had the aspirations, like I was saying, to go to, open wheel or NASCAR. It was always sports car racing. So we kind of went in early. We went to Skip Barber Racing School to kind of learn the basics. And then from there, I went straight to sports car racing. And I did my first Rolex 24 Daytona at 16 years old.
Wow.
So looking back, it sounds crazy, but I think being thrown in at the deep end, you kind of are forced to learn. You're either going to learn it or you're not. You're going to sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good way to kind of learn. You're basically driving around the best guys in the world. So you're not learning at the same rate as if you go up the ladder, where you're learning at the same rate as, another kid. You're kind of forced to learn from these professionals and learn good habits rather than bad habits. So I think it kind of expedited our learning curve. And a couple of years later, here we are. And thankfully, we still have jobs.
And the rest is history, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Jordan, I love your videos. I love watching them. I love those behind-the-scenes aspects of these videos. Where did you get the idea to make these? Where did that come from?
The ones at the racetrack?
Yeah.
Most of the sport is very closed off, and sports cars for sure are way more open than, a NASCAR, a Formula One, or an IndyCar, where you can kind of walk up to the car, see the car up close, see the crew, see the drivers, but you never see all the details. You kind of see the press releases before and after and hear one story.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that I feel like pretty much any race weekend could be turned into like a full TV show with how much goes right and how much goes wrong and how much craziness is going on. And I think people would be shocked of how it seems like everything's going so smoothly on the outside, but how it's crisis control all the time. It's nice to show that when you watch a race on TV. Obviously, the drivers are getting all the credit, but trying to show what goes on behind the scenes with the crew guys, the engineers, management. I'd say I didn't do as much as I would have liked to this year with that behind the scenes. I think to do it properly, you'd have to have a camera guy there at all times, kind of following you around to kind of capture those moments.
Right.
It's kind of hard to capture them after the fact, but I think if I had someone there throughout a whole weekend, it would really create a nice story to kind of follow it. It was definitely nice to give a little bit of a taste. I was shocked at the reaction after posting a couple of those videos. I didn't think they were that great, but then the reaction at the track was amazing. People were always commenting on them, so I'm definitely going to keep trying to do them in the future.
Keep going in this year. 2023 will be a lot of fun, and it's great, like I said, to see all that behind-the-scenes stuff. You know, this is the 25th year for Corvette Racing in 2023. Give us some perspective about all the changes happening for Corvette Racing and what you're hoping for this year.
Yeah, I mean, things are definitely changing. I think things out of our control are changing with rule changes, especially in the WEC, with GTE Pro going away. So now it's just a GTE AM class. So unfortunately, we won't have a full Pro car at Le Mans. So on that side of things, there'll be a Pro AM lineup going to Le Mans and racing in the WEC. Whereas this year, Tommy Milner and Nick Tandy were racing over there in the Pro class. And then on the IMSA side, we'll still have our same car as we ran this year, which was kind of our GTLM turned GT3 car for the IMSA Championship. So I think for us, last year was definitely a struggle kind of making that adjustment to the GTD Pro class, understanding the tire, having the series understand the capability of the car and how to balance it performance-wise to everyone else. So we definitely felt we had a lot of weekends there that we definitely didn't have a chance to kind of really compete and show what we could do. So it's definitely frustrating, but I think coming back now for a second year with the same car, IMSA should really understand the capabilities and understand where we are. So
yeah,
hopefully things are balanced out a little bit better and we can kind of show what Corvette Racing really does best and get back to victory lane a little bit more often.
I hope so too. Talk about your teammates coming up this year, Jordan. You've been paired with some people and we've got new people coming in as well.
Yeah, so on my side, I'll be back with Antonio Garcia full-time. So we've been together since I moved the team full-time in 2020. He's from Spain, obviously a Corvette legend at this point, winning pretty much every race there is to win in a Corvette. He's been an amazing teammate, obviously, a guy that you can really learn a lot from, especially when I came from prototypes to GT racing, really understanding traffic side of things, the tire side of things, and helped my learning curve when I made the move. And yeah, it's been a great relationship with Antonio. And then our third driver will be Tommy Milner this year, who's an American, obviously another long-time Corvette driver. I think he joined the team in 2010 or 2011. So he's also been there a long time considering how young he is. And I actually won Le Mans with him back in 2015. I think we've only done 2 races as teammates together with Corvette, and one was a win at Le Mans. So it's been a pretty good relationship, I'd say, so far. Our record's pretty good.
Yeah.
My third driver who was with us the past couple of years, Nicky Katzberg, will be moving to the WEC to drive in the Pro-Am car with Ben Keating next year. So from a driver and lineup point of view, Corvette puts a lot of effort and a lot of emphasis on picking the right guys. Obviously, everyone's fast, but there's a big thing in endurance racing about understanding the bigger picture, not just being the fastest guy outright every lap of the race. You need to get the car to the end. You need to save fuel, save tires, all these sorts of things. And they do a good job of picking guys that can, really leave their egos at the door. When they get to the track, everyone's on equal footing and everyone's there to win as a team.
Yeah, very cool. I love the Z06 GT3R. That car looks like a monster. Talk about the GTR, its development, and what role you're going to be playing in that development.
Yeah, it's been fun. Obviously, when we made the move to this GTD Pro class, obviously we need to have a GT3 car. And I think moving forward with the class structure, a GT3 car can then go race worldwide at races like Nürburgring and Spa. So I think for Corvette and Chevrolet as a brand, it'll be amazing to see the car going over those places. Obviously, it's still very early in the development phase. The car will only be racing in 2024, but we've already started testing this year. So I've already done 4 days in the car, I think 2 at Mid-Ohio, 2 in Sebring. And then we do a lot of correlation from the real life racetrack like we did in Ohio and Sebring. And then we go to the simulator in Huntersville, North Carolina, to kind of correlate that data to see just how well the simulator's working on the development side of things. So between those big tests, we can use the simulator to try new pieces, try new parts on the car, see what works, see what doesn't. So then when we do go to the real life racetrack, we can kind of plug those pieces on, see how they do. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting process. I've been involved with a couple of car developments, but it's always exciting to kind of see it from the ground up. The first car that you see is always exciting. And then by the end of the process of development, it's a completely different car. I think the car that we're driving right now is one thing. And then by the time we get to the end of the homologation process, we're going to have a different car, but way more improved, way more developed. I think once Rolex 2024 comes around, it's going to be a pretty impressive car.
I think so too. That thing, like I said, looks like a beast.
Yeah, it sounds very good too. I'll say that.
I can imagine. Well, buddy, thank you so much for taking time to be on this Corvette Racing edition of Corvette Today. Best of luck to you and the team in 2023.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Coming up next, you'll meet the newest member of the Corvette Racing team, Ben Keating, here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With agreed value protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vet and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
Stretch the life of your Corvette's paint with Nova Stretch, the performance protective cover. From bugs to rock chips, Nova Stretch covers protect your C5 through C8 Corvette, utilizing stretch fabric technology and an innovative fastening system for quick installation and easy removal and storage. Made in the USA for a tailored fit, the patented design and breathable mesh protects your Corvette without rubbing or chafing the paint like traditional covers. And unlike clear film or old-time car bras, Nova Stretch provides full front-end coverage including the grille, keeping radiators and heat exchangers clean and debris-free. Visit novastretch.com and use the code CORVETTETODAY15 to get 15% off your order. Protect your Corvette with Nova Stretch.
You're listening and watching Corvette Today with Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. My next guest on Corvette Today is the newest member of the Corvette Racing team. He's competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 24 Hours of Daytona, the 12 Hours of Sebring, and most recently, the World Endurance Championship. He ranks as one of the top non-professionals in endurance racing. He's Mr. Ben Keating. Ben, welcome to Corvette Today.
Howdy, Steve. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
It's my honor and pleasure to have you here, Ben. First, let's talk about racing. You're coming from Aston Martin. Talk about the transition from Aston Martin to Corvette.
So it's been really interesting. So far, I've only done about 10 laps in the Corvette. I got to do those 10 laps at the rookie test in Bahrain at the last round of the World Endurance Championship. But the Aston Martin has been an incredible car. I've been in the Aston Martin for the last 2 years. I was in the Porsche before that. I am so excited. It's hard to explain how excited I am to be in an American car with an American team with people that I can understand on the radio. When we win a race, that they're going to play the American national anthem. Even more importantly, to race something I sell. I've been wanting to get this opportunity for a long time. It's really interesting to me to see how different the cars are on the racetrack.
Right.
And in my short 10 laps, I left feeling very excited with anticipation because I've got a lot to learn, and that's fun.
That's really fun. You know, Corvette Racing is moving from GTE Pro to GTE Amateur. You've been racing in GTE Amateur already. Talk about Corvette Racing's transition into GTE Amateur and the races that we'll be participating in this year.
I'm so excited about it. Corvette Racing has only been in the pro class in its history with the World Endurance Championship. This year in 2023, there's not going to be a pro class, and so they are willing to enter a car into the GT-AM class. Most people may not know this, but all drivers are categorized by the FIA as either being bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. To be in the GT-AM classification, you have to have one bronze, one silver, and one either gold or platinum.
Okay.
One of the things that differentiates this class is that you know that each one of the cars has got a bronze driver who is typically an older guy like me, and you typically have a silver driver who is usually, you have to have a silver driver that is usually a young guy who is not proven himself yet, so to speak. And then you get a pro, which for us this year will be Nicky Katzberg. It's really interesting for me in the GT-AM class because it's the only sport that I know of in the entire world where a 51-year-old car dealer from Texas can play in the Super Bowl and catch the game-winning touchdown pass from Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
We're in the same race as all the top professionals in the world. We won the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year in the Aston Martin. Just having the ability to run in those types of events as a bronze, as an amateur driver, and compete at the same time on the same track with the best guys in the world is just incredible.
That is incredible. Now, you mentioned Nicky Katzberg. Talk about Nicky and also who might possibly be rounding out the team this year.
Would you like to know, Steve? For, I think, 7 years, I raced in IMSA, and my teammate was Jeroen Bleekemolen, who was a great guy. I love being with Jeroen. He's Dutch. Because of him being Dutch and Nicky being Dutch, and Nicky was always around the garage or around the truck in the paddock saying hi, and I always got along with him really well, paid attention to him. He's super fast. He's driven lots of different types of cars. I'm super excited to be teamed with Nicky, somebody I've known for a really long time, and I've gotten along with him extremely well over the years. I know he's super fast. I know that we are going to make great teammates.
That's awesome.
I will be the bronze driver. Nicky will be the platinum. We still have to select the silver driver.
Okay.
That hasn't been done yet. I keep a list on my phone of all the silver drivers that I think are rock stars all year long. At the end of the year, the FIA upgrades a bunch of them. I have to take them off the list. And so I've selected a handful of those guys off my list that did not get upgraded. And we are going to test those guys in the car and try to figure out which one we want to be teammates with.
That sounds good. You've had some tremendous success in GTE-AM. You're a class winner at Le Mans. You've also won at Daytona and Sebring. Talk about the driving experience that you've got and what you bring to the team.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to look at my history. This will be my 8th Le Mans in 7 different cars.
Wow.
I have driven almost every single GTE AM car with the exception of the BMW. My first Le Mans experience was in the Viper. I got 3rd place in 2018 in the Ferrari. I won the race in the Ford GT in 2019. I had a terrible race in 2020 in the Porsche RSR. And then I got 2nd place and 1st place in the Aston Martin for the last couple of years. Having that car knowledge between all the different cars and the way you find speed in each one of them is a little bit different. But having the knowledge of knowing how each one of those cars operate helps when you're racing wheel to wheel with each one of those cars. And it helps to try to figure out how you have to drive the Corvette to be able to get that extra 1/10 of a second out of the corner. I also think it's a big deal that I've been racing in the World Endurance Championship for the last 3 years in a row. And so I have series knowledge of how they do things, how they go about things, knowledge of what the best strategy is in our class and different things like that. I have knowledge that is specific to the GT AM class. It's very different than the GT Pro class. You have a bunch of different types of driver abilities and skills and levels between the bronze, the silver, and the platinum.
Yep.
You got to be able to realize how to work that system. Because I've been there for 3 years, I know the tracks. I feel like I bring a lot of knowledge and experience to the team that's slightly different than the knowledge and experience that they've had, even though they've been at these same tracks in the pro class.
That's really cool. Ben, I know you've always wanted to drive for Corvette Racing. Talk about what this means to you in the future for Corvette Racing.
So I am pretty unique in that racing is not my day job. My day job is I'm a car dealer. I own 28 dealerships in the state of Texas. Most importantly to this opportunity, I own Aggieland Chevrolet and Port Lavaca Chevrolet, where I retail Corvettes. I am so excited to race what I sell.
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier in the show when I answered a question. When I was racing for Porsche 3 years ago, it was so hard to understand the Germans on the radio when the car's loud in your ear and they're trying to tell you something important. I am so excited to be with a team that sounds like me. I'm so excited to know that when we win a race, they're going to show the American flag. We're going to hear the American national anthem. There's just something really special with having that opportunity. This is the 25th year for Corvette Racing. It's the 100th anniversary for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I am going to be the very first bronze driver, the very first privateer, if you will, to join Corvette Racing in their 25th year. There's a lot of exciting things that are all coming together for our 2023 effort. I've been trying to get this accomplished for a really long time because I wanted to race what I sell. Corvette just did not want to deter from the efforts they were making in GT Pro. And I totally understand where they're coming from. They don't want to divide their efforts. They want to be focused on doing well in GT Pro. But because GT Pro is going away, the door is opened up, and I've been there to pounce on it. I am very excited, and I would expect that we would do well. I have done very well in the GTM class as the bronze driver. I know that Corvette has been in the World Endurance Championship for this whole year with Tommy and Nick Tandy.
Right.
They have done incredibly well. They've learned a ton, and I really expect 2023 to be magical.
That's awesome. Congratulations on all your successes, Ben. Welcome to the Corvette Racing team. We're looking for big and fantastic things for you and the team in 2023.
Thank you, Steve. I am as well. I'm excited about it.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com, True Wealth & Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels, get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. Mid-America Motorworks at MAMotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.